Nothing Phone 4 a series leaks, a major mid-range upgrade. The Nothing Phone 4 series is starting to generate serious buzz, and early leaks are giving us a clearer idea of what could be coming. While nothing hasn't officially revealed full details yet, recent benchmark listings and insider reports are beginning to paint a very interesting picture of the company's next mid-range lineup. Let's break down everything we know so far, and what it could actually mean. Early Geekbench listings suggest Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. One of the biggest pieces of news comes from an alleged Geekbench listing shared by well-known tipsters online. According to the report, the base model of the Nothing Phone 4 has appeared with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 processor. If that turns out to be accurate, this is a meaningful step forward for Nothing's mid-range devices. The Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 is expected to offer stronger CPU performance and noticeable improvements in gaming efficiency compared to previous mid-tier chips. Paired with the Adreno 810 GPU, which was also reportedly spotted in the listing, this could give the 4 series much better graphics handling, smoother gameplay, and improved overall performance. For a mid-range phone, that's a big deal. Nothing's previous A series devices focused on clean software and solid everyday performance, but gaming wasn't necessarily their strongest area. If these leaks are accurate, the 4 series might finally compete more aggressively in the performance department. Android 16 out of the box. Another detail from the alleged benchmark listing suggests the device could ship with Android 16 right out of the box. If true, that would position the Phone 4 series as one of the more forward-looking mid-range releases this year. Running the latest Android version at launch would help Nothing stay competitive and extend the device's longevity with software support. Nothing's custom UI has always been one of its biggest strengths. Clean, minimal, and close to stock Android. With Android 16 underneath, the experience could feel even more refined. RAM and storage configurations. The Geekbench listing reportedly showed 12 GB of RAM on the tested device. Now, 12 GB in a mid-range phone isn't unheard of anymore, but it's still impressive, especially if it's priced competitively. That amount of RAM would ensure smooth multitasking, better gaming performance, and stronger long-term usability. Additional rumors suggest that both the standard Phone 4a and the 4 Pro could offer similar storage configurations. 128 GB with 8 GB RAM, 256 GB with 12 GB RAM. If this is accurate, Nothing appears to be sticking close to last year's formula. These configurations are fairly standard in the mid-range market today, but they remain practical and consumer-friendly. So while storage and RAM might not be dramatically different from the previous generation, performance improvements could be coming from the chipset instead. Carl Pei confirms it's coming. Nothing CEO Carl Pei has already confirmed that the Phone 4 series is launching this year. Interestingly, he also clarified that the company is not releasing a new flagship for now. The Phone 3 will remain its flagship going into 2026. Instead, the focus seems to be on refining and strengthening the mid-range lineup. Pei teased that the Phone 4 series has been completely overhauled, suggesting major upgrades across multiple areas. Potentially the display, camera system, internal hardware, and overall experience. He also hinted that the device will deliver something close to a flagship experience. That's a bold claim. For a mid-range phone to approach flagship territory, it would need strong, sustained performance, improved camera processing, a quality display, better thermal management, premium design refinement. If Nothing truly redesigned the device from top to bottom, this could be their most ambitious A series yet. Performance focus, a mid-range that can actually game? The Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 is arguably the most interesting part of these leaks. Mid-range phones often struggle when it comes to more demanding mobile games. Frame drops, overheating, and performance throttling can ruin the experience. If this new chip significantly improves gaming stability, the 4 series could stand out in a crowded market. A mid-range phone that handles intensive games smoothly, while maintaining battery efficiency, would be a welcome upgrade for many users. However, some online users have already expressed skepticism. On paper, the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 sounds promising, but real-world performance will ultimately decide how successful it is. Benchmarks tell part of the story. Optimization tells the rest. Design and display. What could change? Although the leaks mainly focus on performance specs, Carl Pei's comments about a complete overhaul suggest that hardware changes could extend beyond the processor. Nothing's design language has always been one of its biggest differentiators. Transparent backs, glyph lighting, and a minimal aesthetic. If the 4 series receives a refreshed display panel, improved brightness, or thinner bezels, that could elevate the overall feel significantly. Cameras could also see improvements. While the leaks don't provide concrete details on camera hardware yet, a mid-range phone aiming for a near-flagship experience would need noticeable upgrades in image processing, low-light performance, and video stabilization. What this means for the mid-range market. The mid-range smartphone segment is more competitive than ever. Brands are pushing flagship-level features down into lower price brackets. Consumers expect better performance, higher refresh rate displays, strong battery life, and reliable cameras, all without flagship pricing. If nothing delivers, Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, up to 12 GB RAM, Android 16 refined design, improved cameras. The Phone 4 series could become one of the most balanced mid-range options of the year. But expectations are high. Calling something close to flagship raises the bar considerably. My take. Some of these specifications were rumored before, so it's not entirely surprising to see them surface again. Upgrading to a more current Snapdragon chip makes sense, and it's good to see nothing moving forward rather than recycling older hardware. That said, specs alone don't guarantee success. Nothing's strength has always been experience, design, software smoothness, and brand identity. If the company truly reworked the device from the ground up, as Carl Pei suggested, then the 4 series could be more than just a routine refresh. For now, I'm cautiously optimistic. The leaks are promising, but there's still a lot we don't know, especially regarding cameras, display upgrades, pricing, and battery life. If nothing manages to combine improved performance with meaningful hardware refinements, the Phone 4 series could redefine what we expect from a mid-range device in 2026. Until official details arrive, we'll have to wait and see whether this complete overhaul lives up to the hype. But one thing is clear, nothing is not playing it safe this year, and that alone makes the Phone 4 series worth watching.